Hey, what's up? It's DeHuff. It's another episode of DeHuff Uncensored. Scotty, what the hell are you doing? What, Connery? You didn't play the soundbite that I set aside for the show. Connery, in all honesty, Connery, it just felt rude to play this soundbite with this very important guest coming about. Oh, Jesus Christ, you're such a pansy. I'll just fucking play it myself. Here we go.
Michael Charles Evans, you stupid.
Mike Evans joins the show.
What's happening? How you doing?
Good. Do you like that's a deep dive cut?
That's a deep dive cut. You know, you need to explain how Connery DeHuff came to be.
Well, that's Joel Klatt. And remember, he was going up to Cheyenne Frontier Days when he worked for Root Sports, and he was the analyst, pre and post game analyst for the Rockies, which were, I think they're worse now, but
right,
anyway.
But they're better than they were last year.
Yes. Silver lining. Okay, that's Mike Evans. He's a ray of sunshine. Okay, but then Root, all the high execs, they're like, Joel, you got to go up to Cheyenne and go get some cowboy gear. It's 6 a.m. on our show, Evans and Klatt. And Klatt, we're in the very first segment. And he brings up, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to wear for cowboy stuff. And then you literally whisper in my ear, because I'm the producer / board op. And you're like, get ready to do a cowboy voice. And I'm like, because that's what we did. Everything was improv for the moment.
Off the cuff.
And I'm like, and I had an intern, I think his name was Austin, something like that. And I was like, what should my voice sound like? He's like, oh, I'm just an intern. I don't have any creative bones in my body. Okay. And I'm like, do I sound more gruff? And I'm literally just going through it. And then all of a sudden you go, all right, let's go check out our resident cowboy, DeHuff, Cowboy DeHuff. And that's how it started. And I'm like, hey, Joe, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And then the legend was born. Yeah. How did Connery begin?
Connery was interesting because I was a big fan of the movie Highlander. Yes. And Connery was in that. He played a Spaniard, which is funny. He's a Scotsman.
Scottish Spaniard.
He's all, como se dice burrito? Something like that. Like, necesito más lechuga, por favor. Mike, I speak no good Spanish.
Multilingual. You're a multilingual, not bilingual. Multilingual Connery.
But he in that movie, he cuts the bad guy's throat, and he says something to the effect of, "I see, I improved your voice." And I was like, I remember my brother and I watching that, and it was a line that I could mimic. Yeah. And then you see him in The Rock, like, "Welcome to The Rock. I fucked the prom queen," shit, whatever. Right. And then I think when it was you, Vic Lombardi, and Nate Lundy, the Fan Morning Show, is where that got introduced, I think.
Yeah, but wasn't my mother part of it?
I didn't want to bring that up, but yes. Speaking of that, Michael, how is your mother? Because I banged her last night. I added the laugh, by the way.
That was more. That right there. That was more of who's the guy from Saturday Night Live imitating Connery on Jeopardy. That's what that was right at the end. Your laugh is, "Oh, Trebek." Oh,
that's right. How's your mother? Because I banged her in both holes. Something like that. Yeah. So for whatever reason, I'll tell you why real quick before we get into the show. My brother, who now lives in Australia, heard the bit, heard us constantly going back to the Connery voice. He's like, "You need something to go back to. What's your tagline?" Because I guess there's something about Penny or whatever. I was like, I don't want to do that. And then it ended up being somehow, some way, it was, "I banged your mother." That's what it, and we're like, let's just go with that.
Right.
And we just did it.
I know this is your interview, but I'm turning the tables on you. Like, because you didn't start out being a big voice guy. And like, it's just like as the stories came along, it just we like just tried it, and you became really good at it.
It all really started because when I first got into radio, coming from the restaurant industry, I was just happy to be in a creative environment.
Right.
And growing up, my brother and I would always steal my stepdad's camcorder, like big thing, and we would do fake Cops, the show Cops.
Right,
we do like
right.
that, do videos like that. So we always had like a creative thing going on, or we'd prank call people and we'd play a character type of thing. Those are just, I can't tell you on air some of the stuff we did. It was fucking hilarious. But when I started, I did any shift that was presented to me. First, it was overnights, midnight to 6 a.m. And then Tim Spence, our old program director, was like, hey, can you do the Avalanche Nuggets games network board? I'm like, absolutely. Keep in mind, I was still working at like Chipotle and Subway and stuff like that. And then I get on with Irvin Joe because that was an opportunity. And then Scott and Al came about.
Yeah.
And what was funny is at first everybody called me Scott, but working with Hastings, it confused Alfred, and Alfred's like, what's your last name? I'm like, DeHuff. He's like, all right, you're DeHuff from now on. Okay. Right. I'm like, okay, so that's how that happened. And then they encouraged me to go on the air, and that's where we would play around with bits and whatever. And because Hastings really liked the idea of it being a complete show, not just them, but really make it more of a family vibe. And then when I started working with you encouraged that too. And that's where we would do random things. I mean, I don't know how many times it was like, hey, can you do a French voice? Can you do this or that? And I'm like, I guess. Sometimes.
So, all right. Here's what I want to do. All right. This is like Frank Caliendo stuff right here. Okay. I'm going to start throwing voices at you.
Oh, Jesus.
And you see how you can pivot from one to the next one. Okay. I'll let you get warmed up. All right.
Okay.
Get you warmed up. All right. Mm-hmm. Cowboy DeHuff.
That's right, Mike. I am all balls in these jeans. I'm popping out. Okay.
Connery DeHuff.
That's right. Hey, by the way, I banged your mother last night.
All right. Van Cougar.
I forgot how that one sounded. Hi, Mike. I'm ready to rock your world. Something like that.
Rich billionaire DeHuff.
Rich Russian billionaire who used to own Jersey Nets. But as you listen to me, I must say, I will break you. I'm just kidding. I look at your face and you're like, oh, because I was like, I will break you. But I wasn't. I'm kidding.
Metrosexual DeHuff.
Oh, I don't remember.
Remember, it was like we were doing tailgating stuff, right?
I don't remember. It's funny because I'm going to sidestep this for a second because I kind of merged that voice because I was telling you before the show that like there's a new character that just kind of came about.
Okay. All right.
And that's Sassy Pants DeHuff.
Okay.
Okay. Sassy Pants DeHuff is kind of like a hybrid of Metrosexual DeHuff and Brandon Stokley. Okay.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It's like, hey, Mike, how's it going? I'm just, I can't even see. I'm looking at your face and you're laughing. That doesn't help, Mike. God damn it. Michael, I am finer than frog hair. Pleasure to meet you. How's it going? Sounds just like Brandon Stokley.
Just like Stokley. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it was just, but I have to let everybody know how talented DeHuff is in that most of the time he got no warning. It was like, I need, because the rich Russian billionaire was literally the owner of the Brooklyn Nets at a time when Carmelo Anthony
Yeah.
might have been traded. And so he was in the news. And so I was like, hey, DeHuff, leave a phone message from Rich Rushinaire, the billionaire owner, saying that you want Carmelo Anthony. And that's where that came from. Like, I mean, incredible spur of the moment stuff.
Which is funny too, because, and I honestly don't know why I decided to switch from the super serious voice to the,
right.
But to be honest, it's not funny if you don't.
Right.
Because it's so obvious that it's not. But that's the one that where I got emails from some Russian guys where they're like, if I see you on the street, I will break your face until it bleeds all over the street. I'm like, oh my God, what? And I sent it to management. They're like, yeah, it's fine.
That's fine.
Oh, you're not a talent. Mike Evans? Mike Evans gets threats? Fucking call the police, God damn it. This can't happen. DeHuff? Yeah, he's expensive.
All right. It's your interview now.
Oh, great. I don't even know where I'm at, Mike. Thanks so much. By the way, so it's interesting. What's your new Twitter handle? Is it JV Takes?
Yes, at JV Takes.
Because you got hacked.
You were one of the first people to let me know.
Well, and what's funny is I made a complaint to Twitter, and it's like they're like, "Well, could you prove that this is hacked?" I was like, "Well, yeah. If you go back and look at it, like I've had, direct messages and stuff like that. Well, that doesn't count, or we can't prove that." I'm like, "Oh my God, how fucking shitty are they?"
They're so freaking worthless. Like when it happened, and yeah, I got my Twitter got hacked, and immediately I started hearing from like guys like you. Chad Brown reached out to me right away, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? And sure enough, and then like right away, I tried to reach out to Twitter X. Nothing. You can't get a real person. You know, they say, well, give us your Twitter handle and your phone number. I'm like, it got hacked. It's changed. It's not there anymore. Well, we don't have it. I'm like, well, no crap. You don't have it because it got changed. And so I never got it back. I just had to let it go. And then the funny thing is the a-hole who hacked me also like tried to reach out to me. He tried to FaceTime me and tried to get in touch with me. Somebody else I know who also got hacked, he took the call and the guy basically tried to shake him down. He's like, I'll give you your Twitter handle back if you like give me your credit card information. Are you kidding me? So I just let it go. And so then I needed a new once I did. And by the way, I took a break from Twitter for about 4 months. It was the best thing. If I can give anybody advice, if you live on Twitter, take a break for a few months. You will be amazed at how much better you feel. But with the football season coming back, I had to get back on. So I needed a new Twitter handle and leave it to Mark Schlereth to come up with the idea of JV Takes, not Varsity Takes, JV Takes. And so I was like, what the hell? I'll have some fun with it. Let's go.
I saw it and I'm like, is this actually Mike? I'm like, why would he say he's JV Takes?
Yeah.
Like, what an amateur. He has no confidence.
Yeah. I have no self-esteem.
Hey guys, I guess I'll try to do a show. By the way, you're talking about Stokley and Schlereth real quick. Who name drops the most between those two?
Oh, Schlereth.
Really?
Not even close. Not even close. You know, I was talking to Tom Brady the other day, or was it Tom Brady or was it Troy Aikman? No, I'm sorry. It was Matt Ryan. Anyway, sorry, hold on a second. Sean Payton just texted me. I mean, you know, for a guy who is like, you know, uber handsome and beautiful family and national television and radio star, gets paid gazillions of dollars. He's so needy.
Right.
It's so needy.
But that happens when they're that popular, is like they need the constant reassurance of like, I'm good, right? Everybody's seeing this, right? You're seeing how awesome I am, right? And you're like, yeah, oh, God, Mark, I get it. Oh, you shared some scenes with Dwayne Johnson. Good for you.
Right. Ooh, yeah.
Anyway.
We're kidding. We love Mark Schlereth. Another quick story. So you remember this one? So we're getting ready to start the show with Mark. Okay, so Mark's joining the show, and it was dropped in our lap. Hey, we got Mark Schlereth. You're gonna be doing the show with him. I'm like, all right. And all I knew was Mark from TV and a couple of radio things I did with him, right? But not much history. And the Mark you would always see on TV would be, really kind of serious. He took his craft really serious. And I remember you and I talking like the day before the show, and I said, "Yeah, I said it'll be a good show." I said, "I'm just worried. Are we going to have enough fun?" Yeah. Little did I know we were getting ready to work with the world's largest adolescent.
And I swear to God, I remember that too, where I think we were in the office area, and you look at me, you're like in my face, and you're like, "We're going to keep doing our funny stuff, whether he likes it or not." Something like that.
Right.
Like, yeah, fuck that guy. and then Mark comes in and he's just like, "Woo!" And we're like, "Oh, well, this is fun.
This is going to be good." And then it was just, but that's release the dam.
Right. And that's what was fun. It was just like, he's a big man child, and he just blended with our sense of humor, and he knows stuff. Okay. He does. Let's be honest. Let's have some fun, Mike, on the show. I do headlines, and these are going to be weird headlines from around the globe, the recent ones. Plus, I got the mailbag. Ready? Let's jump into those headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
All right, Mike. This you got to check your calendar, see where you were. Were you in D.C. recently? Because a suspicious object left outside of a Washington D.C. firehouse shut down rush hour traffic and prompted a bomb squad response. Okay, this is serious, Mike. A police report identified the device as an electronic sex portable pump device. Mike, were you there? It's a Swedish penis pump. That's all I can think of, Mike. Was that yours?
When you get to a certain age, I know I look vibrant. I know I look, but sometimes you need a little help.
A little pump.
Sometimes you need a little pump.
I'm just saying it would be weird if you're like, "Hold on, honey." Remember the old pump shoes, the Reebok pumps?
Yes.
Hold on, honey. It's almost there.
Trust me. You're going to love this.
Swear to God. Come on, I am worn out. So anyway, you left some shit in D.C., Mike.
Okay.
Did you see that 2-foot cottonmouth or water moccasin that was in that kid's football helmet? Yes. And he was like halfway through practice, then he realized, "Oh shoot, there's something tickling my head." Oh my! And then it's a venomous snake.
Second most venomous snake in all of Arkansas. And when I saw that story, I'm like, I hate snakes. I mean, that thing could have been a gardener snake, and I'd pass out. If I found out that not only have I had a snake in my helmet, but it was that kind of snake, oh my God, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to function. I can't even imagine that.
How do you not notice that though? I mean, I guess he's a teenager, so he's looking at shit through like a teenager, like I'm oblivious to the world type of shit. But come on.
Well, I mean, if it got caught up in between the helmet and the padding, and you're just a teenage kid. You put the helmet down, you pick it right back up, you put it on your head, you go about your business. As long as the snake is, not doing anything, but damn.
Guys, I'm just curious as why nobody wrote a story about your mother finding a snake in my pants. Because I banged her. Okay, Connery, Jesus.
Can you control him, please?
No, absolutely not. He's his own being. Okay. Mm-hmm. This broke last night. Von Miller signing with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, the owner that loves some glory hole. I'm just saying. And the owner that has yet to invest in sunshades in his stadium lands Von Miller. Now, keep in mind, Vaughn started with the Broncos, went to the Rams, Bills, Commanders, now with the Cowboys. is this the last team? Because he's what, 37 years old? Is this the last team before he retires?
I wouldn't put a cap on what he can do. He was a really effective player for Washington, played in about 20, 25 snaps a game last year. He had 9 sacks. So if you just understand he's going to be in a really specialized role, he can still produce. So the thing about Vaughn is that Vaughn's one of those funny athletes, is that wherever he is, this is the greatest place ever. And this is the greatest quarterback I've ever played with. This is the greatest coach I've ever played with. These are the best fans I've ever played in front of. But I will give him credit. He has never shied away from, he is a Bronco. And he's always wanted to come back and be a Bronco. He lobbied hard this offseason to come back. So he is a Bronco through and through. And I think back to when you and I were working together, there was a time when Von Miller was he was a 4-letter word for a lot of Broncos country. He'd got hurt. He'd had the drug issues. He wasn't performing as well. And people were like, get this guy's butt out of here. But then it all turned around. He wins Super Bowl MVP, and he'll go down as a beloved Bronco. But now he's with Dallas. Good luck with that.
Did the Broncos screw up by not getting him?
No, not at all. Because the thing about Vaughn is that 2 things. One, they've really done a nice job developing some nice young players. And so they've got kind of almost a great problem. They almost have too many pass rushers, which you can never have enough of. But they got Benito, they got Jonathan Cooper, they got Jonah Ellis, they got Q Robinson. So they got a bunch of guys that can rush the passer. So honestly, I don't know where you find a role for Vaughn, and all you're doing is blocking a young player. Plus, the other thing too, Scotty, is that Von Miller was such a huge, dominant presence as a Bronco. You're kind of turning over the whole culture of the team, the whole leadership of the team, and you have other players that you want to step forward and take over that leadership role. If you bring back a Von Miller, he's such a dominating presence for a reduced role that he probably ends up getting more attention than you probably want from a guy like that.
All right, so you hate Von Miller. Got it. I will say a listener, Matt, said it makes sense. He's headed home because that's where he grew up.
From Texas, went to Texas A&M. Yep.
And he brought up what we've always been saying on this show is ultimately he's going to retire a Bronco.
Absolutely, 100%.
And the way I look at it is, if this is his last season playing, come back to Denver, retire, sign the 1-day contract, and if anything, be a consultant, figure out how to be a coach, and then eventually work your way back into the system on that side of the game. But I agree with you. It's just, I don't think it would have added to the Broncos.
No.
If anything, it may have subtracted, and they don't need that stuff. Let's see. The Cincinnati Bengals signed defensive back, is it Ceyair Wright, as an undrafted free agent in April, and he played in Nebraska, but now he's leaving the team to be a full-time actor because he had too many acting opportunities.
Really?
Oh, you guys didn't talk about this on your little show? That's
no,
horrible.
No, I'm going to steal it for tomorrow, though.
You should. Well, it's
territory.
Exactly. It's interesting because, who is it? Zach, who's their coach?
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor was saying, he's like, listen, the kid had some promise, and he showed up, a great attitude, everybody liked him, but he wanted to do other things, and you can't knock him for that. It's funny because I look at it and it's, you don't need to play football. I love the idea that these guys are like, you know what? I'm not a one-trick pony. I can go do stuff. This guy was actually in Space Jam, A New Legacy with LeBron James. He played LeBron's son at one point. So the guy.
So, is it like, is he a surefire thing as an actor?
I guess so, that he has deals lined up, multiple roles lined up. And that's what he's going to do.
But wouldn't you, if you were, gifted enough to have a chance to play professional sports, wouldn't you want to pursue that dream to the fullest extent, give it every opportunity, knowing that if it doesn't work out, you're probably still 24, 25 years old and you can still go back to all that stuff?
Right. Yeah. That's the thing, is like, he's still really freaking young.
Like I have a medical degree. I'm a qualified brain surgeon, but this talk radio thing, man, I love it.
It's just fun.
Once, I don't know. I mean, could I go save lives and make a difference in the world? Sure. But
I used to say that to Sandy.
Isn't that what I'm doing right now?
Saving lives through information. I used to say,
entertainment.
Right. I used to say that to Sandy. I said that to him on the air once. I was like, you realize, you're freaking brilliant when it comes to sports. Imagine if you put your intelligence to something that actually mattered, like, surgery or, curing cancer. You could have saved lives, Sandy, just so you know, blood's on your hands, like something like that. And he's like, he laughs. But here's what a lot of people don't know about you, Mike. You have a lot of similarities with this fella. Okay. You're an actor too. I have a soundbite from one of your most iconic roles.
Oh, yeah.
See if you can remember this. I know you've been in so many. Here we go.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, right there. Right there.
Whoa.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yes. 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 Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're right there. Yes. Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes. Yes.
He's almost done.
Yes. Yes. Oh God.
My God, you went on forever.
Yes. Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
That's the best part's the end. Hold on.
I'll have what she's having.
Right.
Oh my God. That I haven't heard that in so long.
It's probably good that you haven't heard it.
Damn, that was good. So for those who aren't, so this 1 week, this is when it was you, me, and Clat, and it was Valentine's week, because if that doesn't speak to love, I don't know what does. And so we were doing this bit where we would act out a scene from a rom-com every day. And then, the listeners would have to pick the scene and win some Valentine's Day prize we're doing. So we were talking all week about like, what scenes do we want to do? And then we decided to finish up on the Friday, the last day, with the, when Harry met Sally diner scene with Meg Ryan.
Right.
And so we decided to do it. And that was what came up.
What's funny, there's more to it. I just cut to the, money shot type of thing. Right. But what's funny about that is, as you're doing it, I can't look at you. Clat can't look at you because
I can't look at either one of you.
Well, you kind of rolled your eyes back in the head. You were in a moment.
That was not method acting. I found the zone. If you know
anyway, what's funny is, like, I had the one line.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I'll have what she's having. And
right.
I'm like, I just remember, do not screw this up. Do not screw this up, because like Mike is just nailing this. And could you imagine if I'm like, oh God damn it, something like that. I screw it up, and everybody's like, you screwed it up, you ruined it. But thankfully I got through that, and then you guys
well, as we're doing the scene, so I'm like sitting like this, looking at you, and Clat was right here, okay, to my left. And I knew that I had to like just pour myself into the scene. I was going to give it all I had. Okay. But I knew I couldn't look at you, or I couldn't look at him. So as I started the scene, I turned like this, so that I was facing I was just looking at the wall as I was doing it. And then I just got into it. And then I looked back at you, and I looked at Clat. And the funny thing was, I knew I had nailed it, because you both had these looks of like, you were like stunned. you had this look of like, just, I can't believe you did that. And it was awesome. It was iconic. I loved it.
Iconic moment, one where it's like you feel as a listener, it's like it's a shameful memory, but like a proud memory in a weird way. It's like, oh, that was iconic. I still feel dirty, thinking about it, but it was good.
I always wonder like what people were thinking as they're like, all right, I can tell what the scene is. All right, let's see how Evans pulls this off. And and I didn't realize it went that long. Holy smokes.
44 seconds. That includes with you guys saying acting.
Yeah.
And I think
I can only imagine people listening to that as it continued to go on, go, oh my God, this is great. And then it became, oh, I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable.
My pants are tight. What's going on here? Oh, might have to listen to this in the bathroom. That's good stuff. It was good. Yeah, iconic. And it's funny because I know a lot of people remember this was before me when you got drunk on the air for St. Patrick's Day, where there was a police officer monitoring you. That was an iconic moment. I mean, I look at that, and believe it or not, the when Harry met Sally scene, that was like two fantastic moments. Speaking of acting, real quick before I get on to the next story, remember when John Lovitz came in and did acting with you? He did that scene from A League of Their Own with you.
Yes.
And he thought, no, that would be more now, wouldn't it? That scene. John Lovitz, I liked him before that, but the fact that prior to him popping on the air, we had printed out the script. And because we had been doing acting for a while at that point, and I think you took the reins on that. You're like, John, it'd be great if this is what we do, and blah blah blah. And he's like, oh sure, I'll do it. and he literally he gets it. It's you and him.
Yeah. Yes.
And then and he fucking nailed it. And then I wish I had this sound, but it's like, fools, you thought it was Nate, but it was me the whole time, like something like that. And his delivery, and I'm like, oh my, I love this man.
And then he did the acting.
He's all
the time we had done acting. John Lovitz, he did it himself,
right? Because that's where we got the acting from his SNL skit.
Yes,
that one to me is when they put you in the Colorado Broadcasters Hall of Fame. That if somebody can dig that up and play that is a huge freaking accomplishment.
I'll just have John Lovitz present me.
So, hello, everybody. Mike Evans. He's quite the lover. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that one is like, I think it's forgotten, but that one's, to me, one of the like, oh, shit, that's cool. Super cool. I thought of this real quick while we're talking about sports. You brought up the Rockies a little bit earlier. And then we just had the Savannah Bananas in town, which everybody was. I coach Little League, and a couple of my kids were like, Coach, we have to leave early because we're going to the game. I'm like, absolutely, that's fantastic. Go have fun. And they're just so excited. Is that something? Because the Rockies are so piss poor with the Monforts at the helm. Is that something where I don't know how it would work? But if somehow, some way, wave a magic wand and the Rockies go bye-bye and then they get turned into a Savannah Bananas type team, play in that league, would that make you happy as a baseball fan if all of a sudden you replaced it with that?
The Savannah Bananas they're amazing, but they're not. We've seen this before, We've seen this before, different sport. Harlem Globetrotters. And I know the Globetrotters are still around, but they've lost their fastball. But, that's the whole thing. The idea was, here are these exceptionally talented basketball players who could then go out and bring all the showmanship and tricks to it. And then you have the Patsies, the Washington Generals, that would be the opponent. So I give the Savannah Bananas a lot of credit because they've been able to bring that same kind of model but to baseball. And the thing about it is that these are really good baseball players who are showmen, and the things that they can do are just absolutely incredible. So to me, I feel like I'm watching a modern day version of the Harlem Globetrotters just out on a baseball diamond.
So you think eventually that's going to fizzle out?
No, well, I mean, the Globetrotters have been, the Globetrotters used to be network television entertainment, and they showed up on other shows. I think the Globetrotters actually were on Gilligan's Island. If you go back and look it up, they actually were. But yeah, so if the Globetrotters,
they got off the island.
The Globetrotters had like I know they're still around, but in their heyday, they had a decades-long run. So sure, why can't the Savannah Bananas have the same thing?
That's interesting. I like it. We have a version of it with our Northern Lights League where we every year we do banana ball. Kids love it. My son and daughter both participated this last season, and they had a blast. And the funny thing is that it takes the littler kids got the idea of let's goof around and you get extra points for being silly. My daughter went up there and she was squatted fully down and she had her jersey tucked over her knees and she was the batter, right? Whatever. And it was just, she had a good time. The older kids, the teenagers were like, no, we're just trying to win.
Yes.
Like that's not Savannah Banana ball. Like,
right.
So I think it's fun. But I could see how, and maybe that's the genius of it is you probably wouldn't want it in your town because you would see it so much it just loses its appeal. But if you sprinkle it in, you're like, "Ooh, they're coming to town again." Okay, cool. But otherwise, you just get it's like, oh yeah, it's a worn out thing. I don't want to deal with it. Hey, let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
Believe it or not.
Is that your Quagmire?
I did that live on a show. It's like, because I forgot to make an open. And I'm like, I'll just add stuff around it. It'll be fun.
Yes.
And I'm like, let's just keep it. Fuck it. I'm lazy. This came in from Josh. He says, Mike, with sports radio in Denver being the worst it's been in 27 years. Oh, what an asshole, Mike. What a prick. Guns a-blazing, this fella. Does it make you sad knowing the future of radio is guys like, he's taking shots at Zach By or Tyler Columbus? What a prick. I'm putting you on the spot. Forget what he's calling people out. But I'll say this. I'll put a bow on this. Do you think radio is struggling or starting to die out because of platforms like podcasting, especially with sports, because it's very oversaturated, podcast in general, which really drives me nuts as somebody that's been doing it now for over 5 years. Now it's just like everybody has a fucking podcast. They do like 5 episodes, then they realize, oh shit, this is work. Do you think radio is really in the crosshairs of podcasts, or do you feel that radio's strong?
Well, what really is a podcast? I mean, it's really radio. I mean, it's radio, but here we are on a video, but you're still, what are we doing? We're having a conversation. We're laughing. We're debating. We're answering questions, and it's in a long form. I mean, isn't that like talk radio, just kind of interrupted with a few commercial breaks here and there? I think sports talk is still fine. It's still got, now whether it's on terrestrial radio or if it moves strictly to digital, and the only way you're going to be able to get your sports talk is the way you're getting this podcast, that's still, I think, something to debate about where the future is going. But sports talk still has, especially local sports talk, still has that immediacy, that ability to just quickly react. The game was last night. Let's talk about it this morning, that kind of thing. So I don't think that really has changed. I think what has changed a lot is I think you have more and more stations, especially we joke about the idea of state-sponsored radio, but I think there's a lot to it. More and more individual teams are really clamping down on the message that they're allowing to get out there and how they want things covered. And especially I feel bad for the people who are trying to cover these teams, because a lot of times the information that they're getting, that they're trying to report on, it's really controlled by the team. And, you're put in a position where you don't want to lose your credential. You don't want to lose your access to the players and the team. And so I think that the coverage of a lot of the teams, and therefore the conversation around the teams, has gotten toned down a lot. It's a lot more team friendly. It's a lot more, let's avoid the negative. And, the idea of really getting after players and getting after teams in a way that maybe it was done in the past has been softened a lot. And so that's why I think it's changed. But it's still, when you got a really good team and you got a really good story and you got the Broncos run that they had a year ago, that was fun. And it still had plenty of drama. It still had plenty of, controversial stories that were there to talk about. So it's changed, but I still think that when it's done right, it can be done right really, really well.
I agree. But the thing that just bugs me is I just remember back when I worked at the station is, yes, you have your main demographic, right, that's listening in watching now, but then you're always looking ahead to your next audience, your upcoming audience, and kind of getting ready for them to take over as your current audience ages out, etc. But what worries me, and you kind of led to it, is yes, there's a lot of people that like long form, but the long form content. What worries me is the people that can't handle the long form content, because everybody's so short form dependent with social media. And it's like, I'll run into that. They're like, well, why'd you talk about this, and this? I only wanted this. I'm like, fuck, man, Jesus, I'm not gonna. Well, so that's what's worrisome to me is, are we losing our attention span? So long form, the beauty of long form is going to slowly disappear.
Well, maybe, unless you're doing a specialized podcast or something like that. But I've seen the same thing. I've felt the same thing. In even in the course of a radio show. It used to be like you do a show and it could be like one topic for the entire show, and you just drive it. And you wouldn't deviate from it. But I think now, to your point, and there's been so much, it's a much better way to study the listening habits of people. There is so many times I'd like, damn, if I only knew back in 1999 and 2004 what I know now in terms of the listening habits of all of you out there, man, I would have done my show so much different, so much different. So now there is sort of an idea that, all right, I may not be able to do, a 10-minute segment solely on the Nuggets, for example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do first 4 minutes, I'm going to do on the Nuggets. Second 4, I might do on the Avs. And more of a, like, even within one segment, maybe kind of, break it down into more headline-oriented stuff, understanding that maybe the attention span isn't what it used to be.
That, and also, like, with you being on the morning drive, the morning commute is what we've learned through research is, the average listener for terrestrial radio is in their car. Their commute is like 9 minutes to 20 at the most. So that's where it's really interesting. That's where also too, like, I'm not a fan of like podcasts that go on for like 3-4 hours. I'm like, who the fuck is listening to that?
Right.
So it is interesting as somebody that came from that world to see how it's evolving.
Well, I'll give you a quick like, when you and I first started out, it was like, all right, we have a 4-hour show today. And you thought about it in terms of a 4-hour show. Then it became, all right, maybe we'll do a 2-hour show and we'll basically do it twice. We'll do one show between 6 and 8, and then we'll do it again between 8 and 10. Then it became, hey, we're doing 4 1-hour shows. And then it became, and that's what it is right now, to match the listening habits that you're talking about. I don't have the listener for an hour, never mind 2 or 4. I may only have him or her for 10 minutes. So then it becomes, all right, I have a 4-hour show with 16 segments, and then you treat each segment as its own separate entity. And how do I get the most out of that segment? And that's how it's changed over the years.
Which drives people nuts that are the rarities that listen for the entire show.
Correct.
You guys are like 1%, and it
Right.
sucks. Whatever.
And I try to tell people that. They're like, oh, you're being repetitive. And I go, thank you for recognizing that, because you listen so much. You are that rare breed that listens, but you're the unicorn. You know what I mean? And like you said, 90% of my audience, they're constantly turning over. And I gotta, think like that.
You played to the majority, and that's just business in general. And it just drives people nuts. You're not gonna cater to the like, even in like a restaurant, like if you're hardly selling this one particular item, and it's just, why would you sell it if really a small percentage are actually consuming it? You're
Right.
like, well, I can sell all these other things, and it's going to get consumed. So it's kind of the same thing. It just goes down to business. Listen, look at us, Mike. We're talking business. Just 2 guys talking business. Yeah. Mike, you are, I said it before and you kind of scoffed at it, but yeah, I could totally see you, and you should be in the Colorado Broadcasters Hall of Fame one day. There's nobody better as a lead host. One of the biggest things I took away from all the times that I was able to cover a Super Bowl is walking around and listening to other shows. Nobody holds a freaking candle to you. You're the best. Okay. Look at me. I'm stroking you off. Oh, look, he's crying. Oh my God. Crying. I wish I was there to lick your tears, but I'm not. But no, seriously, you're one of the best. And every time I veer back on the show to memories of good times in radio, you're part of it. It's just, whether we're traveling together or whatever. Like you remember when we were in Miami and you got sick, you're puking your guts out and shitting your guts out.
Oh, both ends.
Right. And I just remember, like, it just popped in my head. Like, I'm at your door and you open the door, and like, I think it was Kendall and we had like a grocery bag of like Pedialyte or something.
Gatorade. It was like, I couldn't move, and I'm just like, DeHuff, what, Gatorade, please. And like, and by the way, that was like the start of COVID. So I don't know if I had COVID. I think I had it. I don't know, but I was sick as a dog, and I was just like, please, liquids. And you might have been in a hazmat suit the way you were looking at me.
That was a fun trip, because that was the one where you were yelling at a cop. That was the one where he can get away with it. He's white. Oh
man.
What?
Well, the story goes, okay? So he's a police officer, okay? But for this, he was kind of a rent-a-cop, okay? So we're going to the media party that Tuesday night. It was down by the wharf, by the shoreline or something like that. And so we're in an Uber, and the directions keep taking us a certain way.
Because there was a train crash.
There had been a train crash. And so the police officer, we go by, he goes, yeah, go down this way. And we're like, all right. So we go down this way, and we end up getting shuttled back out into the main traffic again. So we come through again. And he's like, yeah, you want to just follow this road. And we're like, all right. So we do it. And same thing. So now I'm getting pissed, because media nights, free food, free booze. I had a rough day the day before. I was starting to feel better. I wanted to start enjoying my Super Bowl week. So we go around again, And he started pointing the same way. I roll my window. I go, "You're sending us the wrong way."
But you said it like an asshole. You're
I
like,
did.
Sending us the wrong
I
way.
It was like I was cranky, and it just came out like, what a dick.
hungry.
Yeah.
and that's also the trip where you were on the beach and we did a video where you had bought some sand toys and we were done with the shoot and you're like, well, I'm not gonna take these to Huff. Do you want to bring them back to your kids? And I'm like, I ain't taking shit back to my kids. And then Mike's like, I'll just be a nice guy. And, there's plenty of kids out here having a good time on Miami Beach.
Right.
And then
so let me take it from here. Because this is so we're all walking down the beach together. Me, DeHuff, and Schlereth. Okay. You guys and Kendall. You guys, all three of you are to my right. Okay. And so I've got these toys, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just looking for, a family or something. I could say, hey, you want these sand toys? We're not using them anymore. That's what I should have said. Okay. Instead, I see this woman with what apparently, were her daughter, and it's one of those things. I should have just said, hey, excuse me, ma'am. Listen, we were doing some things here on the beach that we're not using these toys anymore. We'd love to give them away. We're not going to use them. Can you guys use them? That would have been the thing to say. Instead, again, we're all walking together. You guys are right in lockstep with me. Instead, I look right at the mother and I said, and no lie, I go, hey, is that your daughter?
No.
And as soon as I said it, one, you ever say something and as the moment the words are leaving your mouth, you're like, no, you're trying to grab them back? That was the first reaction. The second reaction was so funny. As soon as I said it, in absolute perfect choreographed unison, you, Schlereth, and Kendall all veer off to the right and totally leave me alone. You guys didn't have to communicate. You just, all of you made the same decision. Whoop, we're gone. And I was left standing there like a complete jackass, and I had to completely own it. I'm like, I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, mom's like, no, we don't want the toys. Get the hell away from us. And I just, oh my God, you guys were.
I actually have audio of Mike Evans talking to the lady. Ready? Here we go. Hi, is that your daughter?
I swear to God, that's how it came out. Oh,
I seriously saw it. And like, as you're walking, this is going to come out poorly. This is not going to end well. And I'm like, Mike's a predator now. Like, we got to leave. Yes. I don't want to be associated with this.
No.
Terrible. It was funny, though. One of those. That's also the one where Schlereth and I were in the bathtub saving water. Okay.
Yes.
Remember? And then Golick comes up to him the day after we posted the video. And Golick, I swear to God, just like two dudes talking to each other. And he's just like, Mark, what the heck are you doing, man? Like, come on. Have some standards. It's just, and Mark's just like giggling, like, it's so funny. A lot of great memories. Don't forget to check out Mike Evans weekdays on 104.3 The Fan here in Denver. You guys also simulcast up in Fort Collins.
Fort Collins, yep.
I just found that out yesterday.
Yep.
How long has that been going on?
We're huge. We're huge in Fort Collins.
You're kind of a big deal. But yeah, weekdays from 6 to 10, right? With you,
yep.
Brandon Stokley, and some guy named Mark Schlereth.
Yep.
Might be a big deal. Follow him on Twitter at JV Takes, because he's just not a varsity guy there, yet, guys. He'll get there.
JV Takes, I'm your man. You want varsity takes? Well, Schlereth, Stokley, but JV Takes, right here.
Yeah, amateur hour. You could have just gone with amateur hour. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
There he is, guys. Go ahead, give him a follow, give him a listen. He's the one and only future broadcaster in the Hall of Fame. It is Mike Evans. Thanks, Mike.
You got it. Anytime.